Right, welcome ladies and gents. The nonsense that is the Acolyte, it continues. Very funny. Could this movie get Willowed? Well, series, should I say. Could this series get Willowed? We'll have to wait and see. Be interesting to see what Disney does. So, what are we talking about? Well, of course, The Acolyte. Star Wars The Acolyte. Amazing show. Looked absolutely incredible. Genuinely. I couldn't believe it. No, it was awful. I couldn't believe how bad it was, actually, to be fair. From a writing perspective, it's got nothing to do with the diversity. It's the writing. The writing was absolutely atrocious. It's cancelled. Now, this is very clearly staged to be multiple seasons. You don't, well, maybe they do, but generally speaking, you don't, narratively wise anyway, leave lots of plots unanswered and leave it on a cliffhanger if you didn't intend for multiple seasons. So yeah, it got cancelled though, and there's a fan petition now trying to yeah, I know, all 12 of them. There's a bit more than that, but it's not many, and they're all trying to get this sort of saved, as it were. And the hilarious thing about it is everyone's blaming, you know, racist, sexist, bigots and all this kind of nonsense. But what's comical about this, if you look at the actual reviews on Rotten Tomatoes, say, for instance, they're actually quite nuanced, they're well thought out, they're well written. It's not review bombed. They're actually quite well written. It's all about the writing. Every single review, every single person's review is always about the writing. It just goes to show how bad it actually was. And if those people weren't watching this, because people watch the show out of morbid curiosity, right? And the fans of the show need to be aware that the viewership is bad. That's why it's been cancelled. It's got nothing to do with... And it's got nothing to do with anyone else, but the fact that no one else really tuned in to watch it. So it wasn't a success. But it would have been even worse if people didn't watch it out of morbid curiosity. Right? You've got potentially thousands of people, definitely thousands of people that were watching just because they were like, what is this? If they hadn't done that, good God, it would have been even worse. Even worse. So, there is a fan petition set up now. Okay? And it's very comical. So we'll take a look at the petition. So what are we up to now? 20,000 signatures. Wow, goodness me. Good golly gosh. 13,000 signed today. Yeah, still not enough to save it though. Why this petition matters. The Acolyte opened the doors for so many Star Wars fans. What? To feel seen? Ah, yes, that old chestnut. It must be represented on screen, apparently. Lame. Why are you a fan, then? Like, genuinely, why are you a fan of something if, you know, it actually hinges on you being seen, represented on screen so you feel seen? Why are you a fan of it? That's just bizarre. To feel welcomed and accepted by an IP and fandom that hadn't previously been so for anyone who didn't check off certain boxes. Alright. Not only, but the Acolyte became a beacon for representation that many fans have felt was lacking in the Star Wars universe for decades. Ah, yes. Notorious bigots. George Lucas. What? There's lots of representation. What are you talking about? Anyway, we're both creators and actors that truly understood the world of Star Wars. Sorry, what? Anyway, it keeps going. It's absolute nonsense. It didn't get review bombed, and it definitely wasn't a small faction. In fact, it was a small faction of people that were watching it and enjoying it. That's actually what the small faction was. That's demonstrably true. You can't argue with it. But anyway, it's comical. So there's a little bit more here, right? There is now like a real potential chance that this show will get Willowed. Now, what do we mean by Willowed? Well, by Willowed, we mean that Disney will take it as a tax write-down or like an expense deductible type deal. AKA completely nuking it from their platform, never to be seen again, just like they did with Willow, the series. It's a strong potential that this could happen. I have it on good authority, by the way, that the merchandise is back now, because they removed all the merchandise from their store, and I think that they put it back because people cottoned onto it and made videos about it. They were like, well, this is a bit blatant, what's going on here? And remember as well, they could have cancelled this in like a really non-public way. I mean, Rian Johnson's trilogy is not happening, right? We all know that. Like, obviously it's not happening. But they keep banging on about it whenever they're asked. They're like, yeah, we're working on it. They've been working on it for years. They could have just done the same thing with this. They could have just been like, yeah, we'll get there. And then just eventually people would stop asking. But they didn't. They chose to get it out there. They chose to tell people it was cancelled. They also chose, in the Hollywood Reporter article, to make a note, a very, very special note of Amanda Stenberg's dog shit rap and subsequent retarded dance that she did. You know, I don't F with your discourse or something like that. I bet you do now. Anyway, they made a point to say that that actually harmed the PR of the show. Yeah, no shit. What we've been saying all along. So this is heavily comical. And again, just like I said, it's important to note that the merchandise is actually back. Right? It is actually back, apparently, on their store. But do you think that this could get Willow'd? Or not? Do we think that this could get Willow'd? And again, I have it on good authority that the merch is back. It may be gone again, but I've seen videos of it being back again, so who knows? Yeah, and it says here, the revival of Willow that drew low viewership was removed from Disney Plus and hasn't ever received another home, giving fans no way to legally watch it. While some have taken a great delight in the Acolyte's cancellation, I personally would have wanted it to go for another season, because then I could have bought another classic car, to be fair. That's just being completely real with you. So, you know, I don't delight in its cancellation, because it's lost revenue for me. And they were fun reviews to make, because it was just so bizarre. It was genuinely just a really bizarre narrative choice. Like, the whole thing was bizarre, odd. Others are rallying around the Star Wars series. A Change.org petition has been set up by a fan called Blue Smith. And as we write this, has nearly hit its next 7,500 goal. Again, it's more than that now. Just, you know, to let you all know. It's nearly, was it like 20 odd thousand or something like that? What is it? Yeah, okay, 20,000, blah, blah, blah. That's fine. So it's getting there. It's growing. But it's still not going to do that well. So yeah, renew the Acolyte. No thanks. No thanks at all. It was garbage. It was destined for the bin. This petition would achieve nothing. But still comical. So let me know what you think down below. Cheers guys. Take care. Bye bye now.